Hi everyone, welcome back. This is the lesson 5. Since it has been a while that I haven't had a chance to create this lesson 5, I would like to have a very quick recaps on what we've done so far. Remember that in the first two videos, we were using the web scraping skills to capture the data from the web page. In total, we captured 7 stocks. That includes the Berkshire Hathaway, PayPal, Twitter, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, and also the Facebook. And then in the third videos, we start to work on the data analytics and also the data visualizations with the captured live data. Specifically, we use the functions grid specs to create from Matplotlib to create the trading platform layout. And then in the part 4, we did some plotting with the layout that we created. We developed the candlestick chart that is our in our main chart, and we also established 3 moving average along with the candlestick chart and present them into the same main chart. And in these lessons, we will focus on the mini chart on the right hand side of the platform. Let's go ahead and get started. First thing first, let's refresh a bit of our memory about the structured data sets that we built. We captured the live data and then put everything all together into an Excel file. In total, we have 7 stocks, and the first stock is the Berkshire Hathaway, which the information has been used to visualize in the main chart, the biggest one. And then the remaining 6 stock that we have, we can use the same functions to gather their informations and then visualize with some line charts and put them on the mini chart on the right hand side of the layout. Obviously, we can just skip the first few columns because these informations belongs to the Berkshire Hathaway. And then starting from the column 7 to columns 11, we have the information that belongs to PayPal. And starting from the column 12 to 16, we have the informations for Twitter and so and so, and up to the columns 13, 6. Just like what we have up to the column 36, just like what I mentioned before, we can use the same functions that we created belongs to capture before and to capture each of the stocks with their associated informations, including the latest price, the latest change, the volume, the patterns provided by Yahoo based on the technical signals, and also the target price as well. And the functions that I'm talking about is these functions, that is the with data uh, functions for opens, high, low, close. And there are 3 parameters that include the file name, the stock code, and also the useful columns. And it will returns us the time series data, the latest price, the latest change, the patterns defined by the Yahoo, and then the target price, and also the volume. Now we can just set up all these functions. This is the functions that we are going to use. We are going to have the time series data returned from the functions that is for the second stock, um, their latest price, their latest changes, the patterns, the target, the volumes equals to this function. And then we need the file name, that is the file name that we already defined. The stock code, this is the first stock. Remember that we need to assign the useful column. And then for this one, we want to capture the first column that is for the date, date and also the time. And then we also want to capture all these remaining columns that contains uh, the price informations, the latest price, the latest change, the patterns, targets, and also volumes. And then we can continue to build a few more time series that is for the remaining 5 stock. Okay, for example, I can change it to the bird stock 6, 7, and this is the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is from the 12, 13, 16, 17, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 30, 35, 36. The informations that we want to present for each mini chart are the same. We wanted to show the stock name, the stock price, the latest changes, and also the target price, and also the patterns and the time series line charts. Therefore, we can create a functions that can be shared by each stock. We can create these create a functions right after the future designs, because figure designs, because we're going to use the same figure designs as well. We just want to find a support functions. Therefore, we want to put the plot as a parameters. We want to put the code that we because we want stock codes because we want to show the stock names, and of course we to provide the time series data, the latest price, the latest changes, the patterns, the target. All these informations we would like to plot it out, and need to clear everything before we start to create the plot. And then we can plot out the line chart. First, we need to give the x-axis as a list, and the list is the range from 1 to the end of the last data. So that is the length of the last data. And for this one, I need to +1. And then the second parameters that we need to put is the y-axis, that is the y value. And I'm going to use the closing price for each of the stock. And then the colors, I'm going to use white color. And then the line width, I'm going to give it 2. Now we need to get the minimums, the maximums, and also a standard deviations. the time series dataset. Again, I'm going to use the closing price for that. That is the minimum, and I want to get the maximum, and also I want to get the standard deviations. Therefore, I want to set the y limit, that is the minimum. I try to minus 1 standard deviations, just 0.5. Make sure it is close to the bottom line, and then y max plus the y standard deviations, and then times around maybe 3. Make sure that it will not overlap with the text showed at the top. And then I need to cater for the at the very beginnings because there's no values, so I need to cater for some uh, exceptional cases. Make sure that if there's no values, I'm not going to make this boundary. But once we have some values on the maximum, minimum, and also standard deviations, and then we will set the boundary. Excellent. We've already created the line chart. Now we want to put the text on the chart as well. The first test that we would like to create is for the stock hook. Here I provided the 0.0 and 0.95. This is for the x coordinate, and then this is for the y coordinates. That is 0.95 from the bottoms and 0.02 from the left hand side. Because I'm going to use the transform equals to axis dot trans axis, and then the color code that I'm going to use is the orange. That is the Bloomberg orange. And then the font size, that is 11's font weight. Try to bold it. Then for the horizontal line ones, make sure it's on left hand side, and then for vertical line ones, the top. That is for the stock hook. Similarly, we can also create a latest price with similar functions. That is the latest price, and of course with different coordinate. I still would like to put it on the top, but of course it's bit far from the y-axis. So I just give it a 0. A bit far from the y-axis. So I give it 0.2 on the x-coordinate. Again, everything is similar except that I might want to use the right color for this one. And similarly, I can continue to work on the latest changes. And then, but the color that I would like to make these terms is using a color code that will be based on whether the stock is going up or whether the stock is going down. And so if latest changes, the first symbol is equals to a plus sign, then we'll give it a green color. That is the 00. And then otherwise, the color code, I will give it a red color. And then I move it a bit far away from the latest price. Color code, excellent. Remember, we also would like to put the patterns at the very right hand side uh, of the mini chart. So the patterns, there are three types of patterns. The first is the bullish, and then is the bearish, and then the final one is the neutral. Maybe for the color code for the neutral, I use the right color, and then bearish, sorry, and then for the bullish, I would like to use a green color, and then for bearish, I will use a red color. Again, I am going to put using the same functions and then put everything on the very right hand side. So I will just give a color code. Sorry, I will just give a x coordinate 0.98, and then for this one, I just make sure that it's on the right hand side. So for the horizontal alignment, I change it to right hand side. Below the patterns, I also, oops, should be patterns. Below the patterns, I also have the targets. So for the targets, I just simply set a color to it. That is a pale blue, and then a bit below from the patterns. And finally, I want to use the figure design. I'm going to put everything with the same designs that we have in the main chart. And finally, I do not want the x-axis, and also I do not want to have the y-axis, all the major lines, and so the ticker. So I try to set them invisible right here. Now we created these functions. What I'm going to do is just put these functions down below for each of the stock. Now I put the support, and then this is for the second chart, and then for the stock code, that is the um, stock one, and then for the data set, the time series data, that is the data for the SS2, and then latest price, latest change, and pattern and target, and that is for the second part, and this is for the third one. Just change it to third one, and then this is for the fourth one, and this is for the fifth one, and this is for six, and this is for the last one. Here I forget to put the functions. Let me copy the function. I just put the parameter. Let's put it back. Function. Now if I run the program, now you can see the six stocks are nicely presented by the six mini charts on the right hand side of the platform. And that's it for these lessons. I hope you enjoyed it. In the next video, we will create the bar chart to show the trading volume for the stocks in the main chart. In our example, that is Berkshire Hathaway. See you in the next video. Bye bye.